Yes, finally, Gran Turismo 7 Daytona footage is out. I've been speaking about it for a long time on this channel. We finally got the footage, and at the top here, this is a genuine PS5 Gran Turismo 7 race at Daytona in replay mode with ray tracing on. And you can see just how good it looks. But what I want to do is, I want to throw it up against the current kind of granddaddy of Daytona, which in my view is iRacing. I've done a 50-car iRacing race at the bottom on ultra settings. My Nvidia 3080 RTX graphics card. And simply, I want to know which is better. I'm going to talk about it in this video, but let me know in the comments, which immediately do you think is better? Because at the top, we have this kind of softer lighting effects. Things look kind of translucent. You can see kind of light gently reflecting off stuff. Whereas at the bottom, things are a little bit harsher. You don't get those kind of softer reflections. You have more straight edges, straight lines. So that's the kind of point of personal preference. I think what possibly isn't a point of personal preference and is actually a definite win for iRacing is that it appears that for broadcast replays in Gran Turismo 7 they're going to be at 30 frames a second with ray tracing on. Now when you compare the two side by side, you can see the iRacing at the bottom is at a buttery smooth 60 frames a second, but the Gran Turismo 7 30 frames a second replay does look jerky in comparison. If you can't see this, do let me know by the way, because it is a little bit subjective, but to me it seems fairly obvious that the Gran Turismo 7 footage is quite a bit jerkier. Now when you just look at it on its own, your brain kind of works with 30 frames a second and it looks a bit smoother. When you compare them side by side like I've done here, I think you can really see the difference between 60 and 30. And so am I really going to watch replay modes in 30 frames a second even if it's got beautiful ray tracing? Probably not. Probably not. I value the 60 over it. There's a really important distinction here. Now, in the trailer that Gran Turismo 7 released, the cockpit view is at 60 frames a second. So I'm going to do a separate comparison to that, so you keep an eye out for that. But this is the broadcast view. A lot of people like making broadcast videos on YouTube. They like looking back at their races in this third-person mode. And I don't know. Which do you think is better? Do you think it's iRacing? Do you think it's Gran Turismo 7? I mean, undeniably, I think if you paused it and you looked at a screenshot from Gran Turismo 7, you'd be like, this is incredible. And if you pause an iRacing one, you'd be like, this looks like a PC game from 2000s. But when you see them in motion, I think it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. And I'm actually very torn here. I don't really know. But I think ultimately for me, I think the 60 frames a second has to trump it. So in terms of this broadcast view comparison, for me, I think iRacing looks better than Gran Turismo 7. iRacing on ultra settings is better than Gran Turismo 7 on PS5. And let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you think I'm talking absolute rubbish, as you always do. But there we go, a very quick comparison. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you next time.